Oh, FightFans.com. What's up? It's your man, Pretty Boy Floyd, the one and only.
Hello to fight fans at home.
FightFans.com.
James Lights Out, Tony.
How you doing?
All right, we're here at the Hit Factory with Jeff Mayweather. How you doing today, Jeff?
Good.
Thanks for taking the time, man. So Celestino didn't make it in today. The champion of the ghetto is taking it easy, but can you tell us how he's been doing?
Well, he's doing good. He's doing good. He's anxious to find out who's going to fight him, but it seems like no one wants to fight him.
Yeah.
So that makes it tough. I mean, it makes it tough to just come out here and to be training. And, you know, Celestino's a guy that trains very hard, so it's tough for him to be here training really hard and not have a date, especially a date with one of the guys that he thought was going to step in the ring with him.
How long has it you've been working with him now?
The last fight was just my first fight with
him.
Right. But I mean...
So it was earlier this year that you guys started up together, right?
Yeah. We had like a long camp. We had like about a 3-month camp.
And prior to when you were working with him, what are some of the things that you noticed about him as a fighter?
Well, I mean, basically he was a tall fighter, but he wasn't fighting like a tall guy. You know, and I mean, at times he did, but for the most part, he didn't mind slugging it out with a guy.
He seems to love that, right? Is that an instinct for him, maybe?
I think it's an instinct, but you know, since I've been working with him, I've been working on, trying to get him to more or less, fight like a tall man, fight like a boxer.
So use his advantages a little bit more,
right.
Maybe.
Definitely.
And well, how did you think of the Jordan fight? What did you think of the fight? He got some rounds in there for sure. So
yeah, I mean, well, basically the Jordan fight was one of those fights that basically was a situation. I'm glad it happened the way it did because Jordan was talking smack, talking about what he was going to do, that he was going to crush Celestino. And I mean, I think he took a beating that's going to last him a lifetime. And I mean, he might not even be the same fighter after that.
Right. What would you say are some of Celestino's strengths? Like now that you got him using his height a little bit more, his reach.
Well, of course, I think everyone knows his strength is his volume of punches.
Yeah.
You know, he throws a zillion punches and he throws them from so many different weird angles. So it's kind of hard to predict where he's going to throw and when he's going to throw it. And I mean, he has exceptional power too for a small guy.
And what are the things that you guys have been focusing on lately?
Well, more than anything, like I said, my whole objective is to get him to fight as a tall guy.
Right.
To use every inch of his reach and his height, to his advantage, as opposed to, being combative. If don't be combative unless you have to be.
Now, obviously, Yuriokis, Gamboa, and Juan Manuel Lopez are the big names out there. What do you think of those guys as a fighter, as a trainer? What do you see in those guys?
Well, I think both of them are very, very sound fighters and very good fighters. But I also think that neither one of them can beat Celestino.
You think he's got the tools to give both of those guys problems?
I think he has the tools to probably knock both of them guys out.
Right.
And especially Gamboa. I mean, Gamboa is the biggest risk because Gamboa is extremely fast and he's a powerful fighter. But this here has nothing.
He likes to leave himself wide open too with some of those chances he takes.
He has no defense.
Yeah.
And I know if Celestino catches him, once he gets up, if he gets up, the fight's gonna be over.
So you think there's a pretty good reason that we don't hear those guys mentioning his name quite a bit? Is that right?
Well, I think so. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, because if they wanted to fight him, he's out there.
Yeah.
He's chasing them.
Yeah.
They're not chasing him. And so it's a situation where, I mean, if you want to prove that you're the best, and you have a guy that's willing to not just call you out, but he's calling you out and basically chasing you. He went from one division because you went from that division. Now he went up to that division just to get that fight.
Yeah, they're both up at 126 now. Is he going to campaign at 126, or is he able to go back and forth between them pretty comfortably?
He said that if he does a unification bout, he would probably drop down back to 22. Because I mean, but at the same time, I mean, there's really no reason for doing that because he's already cleaned out that division.
Yeah.
And so basically, that'll be taking a step backwards rather than taking a step forward. I mean, the name fighters and the marquee fighters are right there at 26. You got Marquez, you got. I don't even know this new guy who just won, but he's like a journeyman champion. And so, I mean, we can, of course, take the title from him and become a legitimate champion.
Did you see Wilfredo Vasquez Jr. fight this last weekend?
No.
No, I think he's the WBO champion, and he actually mentioned Caballero in his post-fight, which is nice to hear. So I guess maybe he might be another option. But
I mean, if he's willing to, if he's one of the few that's willing to say Caballero's name.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's taboo in that division.
Yeah.
No one wants to speak it. But if he says it, believe me, Caballero is more than happy to step into the plate.
Did you watch the fourth Vasquez Marquez fight? No? Do you think either, like, obviously Vasquez lost that fight, but Rafael Marquez is a pretty big name. Do you think he has anything left at this point?
I think they kind of ruined each other.
Yeah.
And so it's a fight that in which, you know, I mean, especially now, I think with Caballero's doing more boxing, you know, and making use of his reach and his height, that, I mean, either one of those guys, he wouldn't have a problem with